Many scientists say, see, we've scanned the heavens and we see no evidence of any intelligent life in outer space. Probably send signals not on one frequency, but perhaps on the entire spectrum, so that a passing star will not interrupt the entire signal. If we are really a type 0 civilization, and beings of a type 3 civilization can soar across hyperspace, they are perhaps millions of years more advanced than us. The distance between us and ants would be the same comparable distance between type 3 and a type 0 civilization. We are so arrogant, so conceited, that we say they must visit us. We're so important that they're going to interrupt all their business just to come to us and give us a little bit of super technology. I don't think so.
We dove and rose from the life stream, too slow to just take a light beam. You dare think that you could fare ever sell the rough potions of type 3? Nah, this isn't even the battle of war, you are sustenance. Our stable time loop, you are stuck in it. The race is like you are nothingness to we. The us, the they, the first gods, cosmic out for them. The race that first evolved and made it all the way to the mountain tip. This is the pinnacle, the top, the peak, the zenith, the apex. This is the miracle, that we haven't destroyed your whole wave set yet. You try to flex on something you can't know, but then try to guess. No need for the death blow, dealing with the lower planes brings a lot of stress. We are the astral, if we ever did have to attack you, we would hurl whole galaxies at you, as we unfurl upon your rap crew. Leave the highest type 2 baffled, as we interact with your space-time. Multi-universal conduits taking you anywhere, we can take mine, across many galactic radii. If you ever saw it, it would break your eyes. Even if you ever didn't know where to find us, if you got too close, you'd be vaporized. So how do we get there from here? Omniverse just seems so far away. So how do we get there from here? We began our long climb up the Carthage scale. We set course into depth on the Mandelbrot sail. What we traveled is nothing compared to where we need to go. Our obscene age is in the deep range. Keep playing, being strained to get where we've aimed. The entire species is a think tank. Black hole compendium archives, bound for the omni, the far side. This is the galactic starrise sound, when you've been living out the God guys. Please, lesser creatures are thought to be divine, lest we take the word God to redefine. It's better that you just believe the lies. Seek and find is just for peace of mind, but know you'll have to leave us when your time's up. And use your solar return here to rhyme with. It's only when you truly realize. Be advised, all of this is simply vibration. You are just a different kind, a name of one of a million race, not even technologically fit to mention mine. Our wordplay is absurd slay. The prime central interdimensional omniversal hub is our workplace, where I work late. Traverse the celestial landscape with near impossibly high IQs. Fight you, you're lucky we allowed your species to make it to type 2. We are considered the prime force, use the galaxy seeding in time wars. Who would rather be meeting the rhyme lords than the hype fools who are quite new. So how do we get there from here? Omniverse just seems so far away. So how do we get there from here? We began our long climb up the Carthage scale. We set course into depth on the Mandelbrot sail. What we traveled is nothing compared to where we need to go. Where we need to go. Obscene ages in the deep range.
We think that there is a higher theory. Our universe coexisting with other bubbles in a multiverse, in a megaverse of universes.
Yeah. Type 3. Yeah. Started at the foam as a quantum burst. On the journey from the plane through the Omniverse. The shortest distance you can travel at the speed of light. Watch me take the same path as the neutrinos flight. Shot forward, zooming past the top court, where the space-time and energy roads do not fork. I've been slept on since the electron, Westbourne, home of the place to leave your chest warm. Photonic crystals are my playthings, rap at this scale, spoken in gamma ray wavelengths. Blaze beats, on my way to H3, unstable combustible isotopes at great heat. Fluid like a Mickey Mouse molecule, breaking down all atomic rules on the follow-through. I traverse the alpha helix, on the way to complex chemistry, you're bound to see it. Deoxyribonucleic secrets in the deep end, as I keep the beat and sow the seeds of reason. The only heathen that can bring you cell replication, shoot questions dead through the barrel of investigation. Separation, two strands, introduce RNA into the sequence, then you'll get a new hand. Puffin' Chiba with amoeba, debating which came first, consciousness or the creature, with tapeworms. Cannabis tea poured from Russell's teapot to toast to every person to ever win an EGOT. Pack the stadium, the size of a coliseum. Skyscrapers, high-rises, tetrahedrons. Give me a beat and an ounce of leaf, and I'll show you things from the crease of the mountain peaks. Stay artful as I chop countries to state parcels. Leave the planet completely, become a space marshal. On the red plains, exploring the Mars dunes. Scrutinize asteroid debris and small moons. Who you talking to? I spit the cold fission. Visit every world near, then leave the solar system. Only one of many. All the space in between here and there is cold, and much of it is empty. Still come across a nebula or two, a couple of parsecs, and we've only gone a few. The void we launch into, from Orion's arm. Starships, galaxy class, we flying on. Galactic following, barely known in a local group. Training all alone, their large voids evoking truth. Take it in, let it sober you, as we go out to get a better seat of the overview. An ocean of space engulfing you, with so many superclusters, they're singular in multitude. Every single one, from Leo to Pavo Indus. I've traveled it all, from Columba to Ophiuchus. I break jaws with the great wall of galaxies and filaments that would face all. One existence of distances that you might fear, from end to end that's over 1 billion light years. In a sea of universes, it's a bubble in, and this is from the human's perch at the Hubble length. At scales like this, I find it troubling. How can I describe one branch when there are other limbs? Fleeing singularities while they're doubling, coming out the face of multiverse right in front of him. Nowhere to hide, the vast smothers him. A gram's number of gigaparsecs to the upper rim. Hyperrealms absent temporal cause. Every unique cosmic set with different physical laws. Plus every species capable of computation probably has supercomputer run simulations, with a population trying to explain it, with its own Dr. Gates and its own language. Dirty windshields hinder our comprehension, while tracking down great attractors aiming for ascension. From here, the multiverses look like sheets of paper in a library of books near the speed of lasers. Xenostructures that are even greater, built from every fundamental thing you'd see in nature. At a hyperglance, you wouldn't even notice the beauty of the balance. Damn, they should have sent a poet. The Omni, the top of the hierarchy, where all modes are in play, even the probably. Cyclical birth, life, and death of a whole entire cosmos, where your old life's a speck of probability swallowed by infinity, existing longer than all cosmological history. Swallowed by infinity, existing longer than all cosmological history.
Nature, you're right. And then perhaps our human affinity for this is a reflection of what nature does, because nature uses symmetry in enormous numbers of places for the shape of a flower, a snowflake, any place where we humans look out and we find something beautiful. If you analyze it long enough, you'll probably figure out that we're looking at a symmetric image. But then nature turns around and pulls a trick on us, because if the world were perfectly symmetrical, we could not exist. And so nature in the end breaks symmetries, and it turns out that it's by the breaking of those symmetries that the laws apparently of nature that allow human beings to exist occur in the way that they do.
Yeah. E&E. Yeah. Check. You think this universe is special, don't you? The Boolean rhymes I kick reflects the light like a mess of opals. Check the vocals, their makeup is of data. You listen and instantly wanna take up for your savior. But this isn't even about that. It's about escaping and never increasing mousetrap. Two states with fate undetermined, yet they both exist without a stake in the current. Maybe the present is a lesson in paradox. I'll peek into the future just to see if it's there or not. Study existence with a splifflet, lyrical whiz kid misfit with a literal sixth sense. Get bent for trying to break my symmetry. You couldn't defeat one if there were 10 of me. Even if you had a century to prepare, you'd still be looking up for a god like it's meant to be there. Broken symmetry, force decode with rogue telemetry. Continue to go with the flow of entropy though. Yeah, it's different, a threat to uniformity. Existence was better when it was orderly. Broken symmetry, force decode with rogue telemetry. Continue to go with the flow of entropy though. Yeah, it's different, a threat to uniformity. Existence was better when it was orderly. Blaze the freshest, the space we stay in is asymmetric. Explore the decay with ancient methods. I came to wreck it, force feeding you physics within it. I wanna go far beyond entropy limits. Overload your sensory inputs. Throw bars of ridiculous distance from the pillars of wisdom. A long tradition of strong predictive. Songs of interest where only the facts belong in sentence. Symmetrically appealing though, I'll wreck it with this feeling from the get-go to the ceiling with flows so precarious and arrogant. Lifted with the areas, but condemned cause I spit about invariance. Test me and compete, you and your chief can both lay with the dead deities at my feet. We're just the finite seeking infinite life, as we soar through space at a percentage of light. Broken symmetry, force decode with rogue telemetry. Continue to go with the flow of entropy though. Yeah, it's different, a threat to uniformity. Existence was better when it was orderly. Broken symmetry, force decode with rogue telemetry. Continue to go with the flow of entropy though. Yeah, it's different, a threat to uniformity. Existence was better when it was orderly. Stone.
The only thing that's permanent is the state of impermanence. So many aren't aware of this and think that they can swerve from it. The nerve of them, the utter hubris is kinda humorous. The stupid does the exact opposite of the studious. Less of biological units, nothing but specs to me of momentary interest in stored in a directory. Their entire species history makes up a fragment of my memory. I've forgotten more than they will ever be. They think so linear, our thoughts are never similar. The things they think are massive are to me a small perimeter. So everything around them eventually has to pass away. Their closed system slowly succumbing to forces of decay. Universal deconstruction leads to everything's destruction. Thoughts of stopping the cycle will only start to be corrupted. To me it means nothing, I'm jumping from this universe, returning to the void and on the hunt for something new to search.
Broken symmetry, force decode with rogue telemetry. Continue to go with the flow of entropy though. Yeah, it's different, a threat to uniformity. Existence was better when it was orderly. Broken symmetry, force decode with rogue telemetry. Continue to go with the flow of entropy though. Yeah, it's different, a threat to uniformity. Existence was better when it was orderly. A behavior in space-time, vibration, sound oscillation, light. A fancy way of saying electromagnetic radiation, sight. Visual perception, the ability to discern direction, might. What I bring to the mic when these MCs gonna learn a lesson. Line throwing, mind blowing, rhyme poet that flows while you condone your time stolen. Astro, Greek, meaning star, flaming plasma ball. Equations embedded in space-time while adinkering images mask it all. Some of us were passed down martial science from the ancients. A 1-inch punch, I can pull a strike off from the plank length. Among humans, the differences are marginal. Free to move at light anywhere, like any massless particle. Chart and go, spark and blow drove, then explain a parallax and how a nearer object moves faster than when it's there in a bag. We deal in octaves, physics, math, chemistry, logic. Enemy stop it, you better off described as an entropy novice.
Wake up, they wanna know how far into the future you gon' take them. They wanna know just how stark their view is through an A-bliss. They'll only respond to perpetual progress if it's flagrant. replacing with light, yet are fearful of death.
Let me see, you still stuck on the collection fee. I'm wrecking beats, but you check for me. Mark the box that says extra heat, technically, peep it. It's like trying to keep a secret, the DMT trick, when you've already had ego death and your heart is ready to release it. This ocean'll make you seasick, but at least you under the night sky. Not only in the right place, but even born in the right time to make music, DJ and write rhymes. Everyone has a crew, but no one's doing it like mine. Verbal graffiti, we spray and hurling your city. The ruckus we create interrupts the early committees. They'll scramble in panic thinking that it's a takeover, but in the context of GU, we're just a placeholder. The most powerful lovers haven't even been born yet, formed yet. Why do you think they call us the Hornet's Nest? But we won't stop until we see civilization level Z, and the only language we'd have is peace, knowledge, and Extropy.
Wake up, they wanna know how far into the future you gon' take them. They wanna know just how stark their view is through an A-bless. They'll only respond to perpetual progress if it's flagrant. Replacing with light, yet are fearful of death. Wake up, they wanna know how far into the future you gon' take them. They wanna know just how stark their view is through an A-bless. They'll only respond to perpetual progress if it's flagrant. Replacing with light, yet are fearful of death. Of death. Yeah. Omniverse. Chat. It doesn't matter what I don't believe in. If I'm not after education as a rapper, then it's open season. From there it's easy to fall, often forgetting you're fortunate, lucky to be breathing at all. This is our method to teach, it's just the sound of them. You know me, my consciousness always stays on the outer rim. Stop trying to make us threats and face your fears. I train with peers that often spit too complex for the layman's ear. I miss debates sorely, dropping knowledge on the faith that's from the 8th story. But it was fake glory, hollow victories over those who couldn't follow history. So I moved on to topple misery. Avoided flocks and swarms, you'll often find your conscience torn as you try to separate from the non-informed. The industry couldn't account for me. While other rappers had limits, I exceeded the boundaries. Watch them knock our places, say it's not our space, but we ain't going away.
My whole camp stands unified. We ain't gon' kneel, cave, surrender, bow, or move aside.
They wanna break us up and want us back at odds, cause we ain't going away.
Never this, they want the ground we've taken back, and the recompense will resist.
Your purpose asunder, while like the king lizard I emerge from my slumber, purged full of wonder. Come up with theories just to test them out, see it for what it is, then be left to doubt. On the mic I go the extra mile, match graffiti with the freshest style. Show these people how the West get down, truce or die, you decide. Truthfully you wouldn't survive any set of grand unified. Your foolish pride will leave you in a pool of rhymes from people who enlighten you, still trying to fool the mind. Nice try, we're not buying. You might be high, but you're not flying. Stay in your sightlines, fight crime, or become a part of the cycle at nighttime. With like minds, quite blind, trying to lead us all to the promise as we all fall to the comet. Watch them knock our places, say it's not our space, but we ain't going away.
My whole camp stands unified. We ain't gon' kneel, cave, surrender, bow, or move aside.
They wanna break us up and want us back at odds, cause we ain't going away.
Never this, they want the ground we've taken back, and the recompense will resist.
Space and time, the responsibility to blaze a rhyme always falls on me because I'm Greydon prime. My punchlines aren't even fun to people. I start to spit and they look at me like I summoned evil. None are equal, so I run the track like a dean run a cathedral. Ton of weed though, come and see yo. The cosmic array has us locked in a daze, chilling with my people in oculus space, a Negro. Yeah, this planet is a cast world. I'm just another Captain Jack searching for his black pearl. Last girl, I promise. You want commitment and I want sex, let's be honest, and kill the drama. Nothing but science on my mind list. Most don't speak up and keep quiet cause they spineless. Try to define this, I'll seek ideas to falsify like a scientist until I'm 96. Watch them knock our places, say it's not our space, but we ain't going away.
My whole camp stands unified. We ain't gon' kneel, cave, surrender, bow, or move aside.
They wanna break us up and want us back at odds, cause we ain't going away.
Never this, they want the ground we've taken back, and the recompense will resist.
Watch them knock our places, say it's not our space, but we ain't going away.
My whole camp stands unified. We ain't gon' kneel, cave, surrender, bow, or move aside.
They wanna break us everyone up in here, but prepared. The faster you know I'm going, the less you know of where. It's advanced rhyming, being kicked by a trans intellectual, flipped into quantum physics and nanoscience. Pick a subject, I'll erupt quick. You, unreliable like the firing pin of a musket. Falsify it all, save it if it's true, then blaze it with the crew at the Daystrom Institute. You can fall from grace just by thinking that all of the human gods are fake. You have now entered sovereign space. Resolved is the faction. Reverse course and be subjected to defensive action. This is the captain, aiming missiles at your cabin. Issuing the fire orders to send you into panic. A predator eagle, you feeble rabbits. I can set your holiest book on fire just by speaking at it. It's all just a spectacle, a stage of actors all competing for the best in show. Some play the victim of the deadly blow, while others take the role of I'm in control. Faking wise, made to improvise. Dressed apart, making lies, staying in disguise. Justify ignorance of where the center lies. The loser celebrates, the winner cries. Tetrahydrocannabinol, extra high off the wall, trying to stand in the mall. Infinitesimally small are your chances. We make our own money, you suck balls for advances. Big words, yeah I use them. You looking at me like I'm an alien, yeah I'm human. But like one, I take vacations to type 1 often. The only one here armed with a light gun. Stalk it, bring it back to your laboratory and dissect it gory with the glory of a horror story. Doomish, everyone else is a nuisance. Interrupting the Cypher, just trying to kick their 2 cents. Move it, there's nothing to see here. Just to be clear, we level up each year. High mileage, power level over 9,000. The price you pay for success is borderline gouging. It's all just a spectacle, a stage of actors all competing for the best in show. Some play the victim of the deadly blow, while others take the role of I'm in control. Faking wise, made to improvise. Dressed apart, making lies, staying in disguise. Justify ignorance of where the center lies. The loser celebrates, the winner cries. You'd already be leaking if I planned to shoot ya. If it was about money, I'd have more than Mansa Musa. Sands of future, litter the cosmic shoreline. I am the reflection of your potential and your mind. Wartime, wanna go to trial, we can see what the court finds. For a dime, lose the bluster. I've been all over the Lioness and supercluster, nuking busters. Rare quotes, as other quantum versions of me compare notes. I just wanna see how far up the stairs go. We are stardust adjusting for airflow. Tear slow or risk damaging content of the trans intellectuals family convent. When I try to speak, these people don't listen. So I tried a new vehicle and repo religions. It's all just a spectacle, a stage of actors all competing for the best in show. Some play the victim of the deadly blow, while others take the role of I'm in control. Faking wise, made to improvise. Dressed apart, making lies, staying in disguise. Justify ignorance of where the center lies. The loser celebrates, the winner cries. It's all just a spectacle, a stage of actors all competing for the best in show. Some play the victim of the deadly blow, while others take the role of I'm in control. Faking wise, made to improvise. Dressed apart, making lies, staying in disguise. Justify ignorance of where the center lies. The loser celebrates, the winner cries.
From the West Coast, lyricism is deep, and when people, you know, in the past always slept as if West Coast didn't have lyricism. West Coast always had lyricism, you know what I mean?
Yeah. My words are worse than a nuke. They're searching for truth. This is the null hypothesis versus the burden of proof that's lurking. GU surgeon peeking through your curtain. All you see is serpent. The perfect vehicle, even though it can ruin purpose. That's for you to discover. Me, I'm out here making moves with my brothers through music. Work in the booth, rhyme form the verbal judo. Damn the solution, we only like the work that you show. Just the perks when you flow, and this is just the surface, you know. So let us emerge. Who needs a god when you even the odds with education? No one needs Sharia involved. To wreck a nation, all you need is trepidation. Correct and face it, prepare for the defamation matrix that'll leave you in awe. On our spaceship and we're leaving you all. No hesitations, they're better unheard. Who's underground like a mining town? Terrorizing vows, affecting lives by combining sounds. Education is my rhyming style. My theory of sound could be the light that provides the route. Stay on point like a Viking house for untimely bouts. If I'm pitching heat, you striking out. My team is right with the nouns, tight with the style. climbing for miles, for timing is wild. Words through basic permutation to learn who's greatest. I'll show the many-faced got whole new faces. Face it, this is one and the same. The feeling you get when you run in the rain, newly escaped or come in chains. Luck is strange, IQ's in the upper range. That's why you have to use sativa when you puff the strain with the seafood. Going full pupil so he can teach you another medium that she can reach through. Literal syllable intervals kicked with info in a potential order to send you to the pinnacle. Gorgeous, can change the color of your auras, but secretly incurring on your borders. Peacefully, random save hand grenades for tantrum. I'll relate the answers while you distracted by the naked dancers. Face the cancer of man as they often exhaust your stamina, aiming at your stanza command. Who's underground like a mine in town? Terrorizing vows, affecting lives by combining sounds. Education is my rhyming style. My theory of sound could be the light that provides the route. Stay on point like a Viking house for untimely bouts. If I'm pitching heat, you striking out. My team is right with the nouns, tight with the style. Climbing for miles, for timing is wild. Progeny of the ancient, so authentic, grand unified theory. Dr. Feynman sparked the lecture.
It's no use arguing, I can't argue it. I'm just trying to tell you why the scientific views that I have do have some effect. If you have all these theories of the different religions, have all different theories about the thing. Question, how do you find out if something is true? Then you begin to wonder. Once you start doubting, just like you're supposed to doubt, you ask me if the science true. We say, no, we don't know.
Yo, listen, dude, I got flow that you couldn't measure with a pedo tube or a centrifuge. Interviews, I discuss all but hip-hop. A trip to legendhood, we could all make a pit stop. Fools miss it, these quantum concepts are dualistic. The vast of Omni is too terrific. You think you coming tight? I'm into civilizations beyond number types. Puff in the summer night, studying something like the primary function of light. Bust on the mic, some stuff that they want you to bite. I ever stop? Padded selling belts. And if I need a God, I'll ask myself for help. Yeah. Prayers to my larger ego. You couldn't process the layers in my art cathedral. You are hardly equal. Master rhymer, pattern finder, pass the grinder, or find your name in the assassin's binder.
In the basement rap for the ones that hate the blatant capitalist creation that's sacred. We wanna take it back. We've been living below the ground and speaking in code. No, you can't please us just because your visa's a gold. We flow and blow smoke physically, you blow it metaphorically, allegorically. Your style of story's not our priority. I go forward with warriors in my corner that's glorious. So these are the bars to bring the addicts back to euphorias. You can come check the balances, accountants. No boundaries when you aiming for outer limits and alternate realities. This is the intellect to split fact from fiction, to put past convictions in the trash, the bad religion. We ought to cast the characters you ought to get to know. Lifers in the Cypher, fire every episode. Meanwhile on the other side of the spectrum, I suspect your quackery is unchecked. What comes next is never known.
I write orders between loose leaf borderlines. On the mic they're immortalized, grow fortified. Had the speed of light passing border signs. Now a polished product, before was a drawing board design. Spell intelligence with a capital I. Utilize computing power in the back of my eyes. Petabytes put to use within the nighttime. To sensory overload any adversaries with light spines. Blasted on trap beats, bragging about light crime, while I'm spitting across distance measured in light time. Nothing's changed, still representing the GU. From where I stand, most of the genres artists are see-through. But ad hominem's a product of the basis minds, far more interested in matters regarding space and time. I'll be grand unified till the day I die. Scribe fire rhymes and they both sides of my mind collide.
I groove on this beat, move smooth as a criminal. Cruise through loose leaf, 2 sheets, all original. Rhyme scheme, make the time freeze like the white rabbit in Wonderland. You're under man against the mic grabbing. Master Roshi with a master Broly and a double cover something. Trying to match the homie in his double dutch. I'm in the zone like Sonic special stages with the emeralds. Trying to reach the pinnacle with dope lyricals that'll pass the test of time like gold spirituals. And that shit you spit is so pitiful. Let it go, just the gold medal record flow. Professional tone with the microphone, you better know, set in stone. My name is, cause I work a metronome like a normal type. All I do is hold the mic in, never pass it. It's a classic from rap kids who feed on these beats like fat kids.
Unified, we keep it in rotation. Fire to the bows over Maxwell's equations. Catch the phrasing, match with blazing. Congratulations, your whole career is a fashion statement. Yeah, Saxa schools on the track. School with the facts, teach these fools how to act. Classical, hit them with the field theory. Read it again and you might see it real clearly. You should fear me, look at how you hugging. Coming at me sideways, a child's mind you stuck in. Before you bring it to me, know that some of us are impressed by the way that you think. Blunt rolling, mind forever growing. Stomping out ignorance every time we put the flow in. Motion, measured by the observer. Brass get lost in astrometry, love mergers.
The enlightened clan is back with lyrically scout back. Killer these tracks of quantum leaps, rewriting these lame amateur raps. Damage the whack ass is true to his craft. And I ain't in it for the fame, I'm just shooting the facts. Back at the world they should be giving out vests. I got a clip of cop killers if they did, that I'll spit at your chest. And if you think I'm on some thug tip, you poor listeners, my metaphors are deep. Y'all sleeping, I'm on riddling, killing, no filler, gorilla, peeler, banana theories got me weary. So if knowledge is a weapon, better fear me. Imperial war vessels with a pier and the sea meets. Run up on your beach with a squadron, clear your weak fleet.
I'm a complete bastard, see me on beats bragging, but I leave them seized. Feet tagged up with meat wagons, teeth chattering, decreases in heat atmosphere is bleak, but I'm steeped in elite fabric. Sucker-proof grays puffing on the endo, watching me dismantle you with muzzles on my pencil. Enough will be a gentle book stuffing me with info. Come at me with the insults and I'm hunting through my steno. For an quote, I'll leave a jaw dropped until your chin's broke. It's softer than the tiptoe, old school when I flip flow with your kinfo. Start the tape recorders and get in close. So simple when they picture phrase, simpler the picture page. Boring, that exchange is flowing with my nickel lay. So if it pays, you're in change, you're a mental slave. A grand authentic isn't sprinting, we just win the race. It's against the laws of physics that you get away.
A interpretation of what these equations mean, how they apply to the world, that at first was regarded as very far-fetched, but I think has more and more caught the allegiance of the physics community, is something called the many worlds interpretation, which says that, yes, reality does contain all those possibilities, but when you make a measurement, you find out which world you're in. So the wave function contains many, many worlds, but when you make a measurement, you discover which world you're in, and then there's no going back to other ones.
Yeah. Ah. 1, 2. Omniverse. You wanna seek the whole, then let's do it the smart way. And deal with universes just as real as they are fake. To us this stuff is new, all while searching it for the truth. He ain't giving the odds against it. Life is intrinsic, where children love and friendships are swiped in an instant. But it's another you, just a pea in another stew, within the greater Omniverse. The wave function never collapses. This idea would fall apart if ever it happened. Ever ready in rap shit, irrevocably heading for medleys among the madness. Another bastion, deep within reality's ready state. A weakened Eddie waits to be shaped into one of the thinking heavyweights. But what about the one who didn't? What about the one me who was dumb enough to run from wisdom? Or secret life and mission, the me that died in Iraq, the he that fights in prison. Let's peep the other side of decisions, where the unchosen choices survive in the Hilbert space and thrive in the distance, where I never spent a night in the system. Sights on ascension from the very start, rife with intentions, while simultaneously rooted in prison, all existing in superposition. You wanna seek the whole, then let's do it the smart way, and deal with universes just as real as they are fake. To us this stuff is new, all while searching it for the truth. He ain't giving the odds against it. Life is intrinsic, where children love and friendships are swiped in an instant. But it's another you, just a pea in another stew, within the greater Omniverse. They say they wanna battle me, not knowing that they're now dealing with quantum immortality. Look, in every world I spit it savagely, and only one to exist in realities they pass me the kush. This may have already happened, or will happen again through this raw way of rapping. On the skiff to wherever the splitting river weaves, where my deja vu is simply glimpses of a different stream. None of this is new. If one of them can be false, then none of this is true. Paradox music involved every instance, writing songs for the first time that I've already written. Listen, this is the literal situation. Pivotal ancients study every potential configuration. It's just a branch on the tree, hit a forest set on fire for a planet to see. You wanna seek the whole, then let's do it the smart way, and deal with universes just as real as they are fake. To us this stuff is new, all while searching it for the truth. He ain't giving the odds against it. Life is intrinsic, where children love and friendships are swiped in an instant. But it's another you, just a pea in another stew, intuitive features of neo-weirdness. The only logic flow where outcomes are orthogonal, topological possibles you solving for. And you wonder why I smoke, then look at equations like they're solvable, taking aim at the fundamental nature of the cosmic show. Opponents say it's nonsense. Proponents make it known and make a home where it ain't common. On the fringes, go on and skip it if it misses you. It's a different view. If I was just as ignorant, I would diss it too. But let's not act like you can't falsify it. Now you've crossed the line with an awkward lie. Reason tossed aside. That'll cost you, guy. Get spanked. Guppies gasp cause I'm leaving fissures in they fish tank. And they just faint. Just more detention for the prisoners in 4 dimensions. The sordid existential tour suspended. Wanna seek the whole, then let's do it the smart way. And deal with universes just as real as they are fake. To us this stuff is new, all while searching it for the truth. Even given the odds against it, life is intrinsic. Where children love and friendships are swiped in an instant. But it's another you, just a pea in another stew, within the greater omniverse. Omniverse. Yeah. GU. Travel the Stargate. Rap is just an arms race. Metallic skin over an arm that's fake. Our fate is linked to the page in which we sink our rage with ink. Only to translate, this is the people's age. Tebow's fade, Sagan's tend to last forever. Imagine if oddly it like the name Cash is better. You try to play hard, but that ass is feather. I spit hotter than Nevada summer weather in the plastic sweater. It's all fair if you caught up in the crosshair. And all peace when you all fair. But on, you acting like a boss, come on. We all know who takes orders from Mr. Ailes, you pawn. Steaks and prawns with Grey Poupon, laced with arms. On top of all the painkillers the nation's on. You naked, son, fully exposed. No pulpit to bully your foes with, or bullshit of yours to be sold. You rappers trying to lie in the cut, y'all ass like rhinoceros butt. And lastly, for those relics stuck in the past, Matt trying to tie us up, don't have no kids, just glue your wife's vagina shut. Loose thoughts all connected. Look too hard, saw reflection. Overthinking. Too far off the record. Thought too small of a message. So ATs, ha. Who ponders for the ponderer? The reads for the illiterate, or searches for the wanderer. Searching. It's like the riddle resolves his mind. So it's vetted. This is not an atheist's Christmas. If you're a novice, save the criticism from my henchmen. When they're in, you can diss them. Most the relics move through the system with wisdom. They understand light's bliss through the prism, and that the mind is the only prison. To escape it, you have to know the rhythm and be known to chase it. See, we own spaceships. Only a slave will make home the matrix, and willing to succumb to known agents. Roam the pavement on the hunt for old pagans, just to exchange soul names with. Mine goes Greydon. I used to keep an open book for you to scroll the pages before the phase shift, but now I speak in coded language. Type 3, a xenoverse inside the hive mind of twin Jupiter brains that are Siamese. Who of you could refrain from looking inside the compendium of which the third eye sees? Loose thoughts all connected. Look too hard, saw reflection. Overthinking. Too far off the record. Thought too small of a message. So ATs, ha. Who ponders for the ponderer? The reads for the illiterate, or searches for the wanderer. Searching. It's like the riddle resolves his mind. So it's vetted. More random rhymage being brought to you in part by the planet's finest. My span is timeless. Pretend? Well, I guess it depends. Think about our world for a moment and let it sink in. You gain consciousness in the deep end. Let's take an eighth of mushrooms together and then we'll be friends. By that I mean you woke up in a sea of life where they're mad that you toke up. Villains show enough, killing children, so what? They put them back in office and often get back their donuts. And they see the corporate monkey act. Most of them are simple people trying to get their country back. In a two-justice system, one for the state, the other for the highest bidder. Where you can buy a Porsche or a nigga, simply buy a law or the trigger. The cost is just far bigger. Loose thoughts all connected. Look too hard, saw reflection. Overthinking. Too far off the record. Thought too small of a message. So ATs, ha. Who ponders for the ponderer? The reads for the illiterate, or searches for the wanderer. Searching. It's like the riddle resolves his mind. So it's vetted.
Loose thoughts all connected. Look too hard, saw reflection. Overthinking. Too far off the record. Thought too small of a message. So they tease. Ha ha ha. Who ponders for the ponderer? The reads for the illiterate. Or searches for the wanderer. It's like the riddle resolves his mind. So it's vetted.
Nothing bothers me more when I have people, even here at my own gym, they request to put on CNN while they're like on a treadmill or on a Cybex arc. Or like, there's garbage everywhere you look. The media, the TV, the paper, a lot of people are filled with negativity. Garbage in, garbage out. What you read gets filtrated into your mind. What you watch gets processed through your emotions. What I mean by garbage in, garbage out is be careful of what you take in because it could be polluting your mind. When we talk about creating a mindset, bottom line is this. If you put garbage into your mind, you'll get garbage out of your mind. Your thoughts are very important because your thoughts create clarity. Your thoughts drive your actions, and your actions create your character. So what you read, what you listen to is very, very important.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
What comes after 4?
2.
Higher form fighter, born firestorm, disguised as porn. Hiding out inside your dorm. Buyer be warned, as in caveat emptor. As other inmates in the yard ask me what I'm in for. 10-4, but only if you copy. Most of these cocky rappers are known to be sloppy. Whole posse, sound old and offbeat. I stomp the track, 10 toes, off feet. Raw meat for the carnage, described as lost. I draw heat from the darkness. Where the high cross or crescent moon sacrilege. Digging the truth sack, they'll send the goons after ya. I am Africa, as much as America, Europe, and I can back it up. Using nothing but a sundial and an abacus. Half of this is studied in the classic sense. The other half is quantum scale accurate. Now we study till we master it. Collecting assets cause we're passionate. I hope you notice that they've sold you a lie, which is exactly what can happen when you open your mind. GU. We've amassed a collective of trans-intellectual genius for your inspection. Yeah, the dream is on. That's why I spit at Frederick Douglass mixed with Robert G. Ingersoll. The freest fall, you couldn't match velocity. I keep it going even if the DJ drops the beat. Cock the heat, aim it at these whack rappers. Force the defeat, then chain them to these backpackers. I'm Mr. Strickland, you're a bad slacker. If you're a villain, I'm Batman in my vast cavern. I'ma spit till I can't. I just hope my family and friends understand. This the plan. Climb the scientific tree of knowledge, pick a branch, or you'll miss your chance. My music leaves you in a sense of trance. Compare you to me would be like B-boy in the river dance. Get your man.
Who are the best 5 rappers of all time? Think about it. Papi, 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 and Papi. Because I spit hot fire.
What's it like? What? Life, it sucks if you just chase bucks and chuck dice for brittle stuff. Sickle tucked, and it'll cut and riddle guts. Indo and Dutch, 2 puffs and pass it if you lit it up. Yeah, we smoking. Why the fuck you think we still here? My whole crew is real weird, a bold new peer tier. Here, a split for Mr. X. I've kicked it with the best and slept while missiles hit the deck. They never gave an inch of respect, so I took it and was housed where the signal was kept. Still I caught you looking, gross overtly, still nerdy within. I'll pick my teeth with a dirty syringe, then kick my flow superbly. Who won it? Fuck around, you diss, I'm giving you 200. Up and down, really bizarre. Them silly apes let them churches tell them who their enemies are, while we wonder how. People get blowed off my second hand, a master in the dojo. The very type to check your stance, brand the logo. Now the people call me Foresight. On the beat I'm spitting cheat codes just for more lives. Torrent still with the sword and shield. For morbid thrills, known for killing lords with a quarter skill and going ill. Fuck Caitlyn Jenner, that award belonged to Lauryn Hill. I slay beginners, even though hip-hop's on this blue pill shit. Dude still spits, slay a king in the open and fools kneel quick. Fuck Allah and his righteousness, I can never serve him. If heaven consists of members of ISIS fucking virgins, but I'm another person, religion of peace, you lying through your turban. Vividly, the shit I speak will make a feminist cringe. Him and his friends, remind them that this isn't pretend. Listen good, I've had it with this first world victimhood offense culture. Same plank to walk, different wood. Dare need a favor, Aryan invaders will ask if you carrying papers. Married to bankers, calling you to celebrate a lazy creator. Then damn you for not accepting the savior. Soaring for glory, ever wrecking your shitty origin story. It's boring the corny, I spend the sermons normally yawning. Last mission, amass wisdom. Now it's spitting it in a way to break the slave in a black Christian. I can't peek, my lyrics they leak anions. I fill graveyards with the Hindu and Greek pantheons.
My climate steady rising higher, monkeys still want a messiah, even if it comes in the form of a professional liar. The art of deception admired by the masses. Watch them cheer and go defend the foot this planet in their asses. All y'all scared to smash shit, comfort in captivity. The clergy got them faded, their cadence becomes a symphony. Spewing the mindless litany, a bullshit rhetoric. Sing alongs and pray about freedom that you will never get. So what's the latest outrage? Tell me who you angry with. Post another Twitter status, only venom you will spit. That's probably why I'm number shit, cause everything about you weak. From politics to music you rockin', even the words you speak. I'm supposed to buy into that shit that you spout when you think she heard us from Bible days and figured this out. Man, fuck that, fall back, I'm done coddling all your nonsense. You lack a critical thinking and little slave complex.
With all the pansy talk, I'm jaded by the offense. Your people need to listen more before you cry and talk less. While people lie in coffins, you're lashing at comedians, devoting all that time and your resources to feeding them. Well, real rapists and killers, racists and villains sending planes to your building, but ain't the ones you chasing your feelings. That's great. So channel energy on actual threats. You say that Greydon raping tacos was an act of regret. Let's ask the taco if it's possible that he can repent. Ignore the context of the statement so that we can be next to wave the flag for your agenda. Please believe the intent. It's just irrelevant. We need them all the people to death. My nigga, please, you're only feeding the lies, bearing deceit like it's a weapon of destruction, only blinding the weak. No denying it's a cruel world, then we're fighting the beast. But if our skin is not a thicker gauge, your body's in feast. Yeah.
In 2016, it's a plea to the populace. Please be less uninformed or be less obvious. These followers would rather force religion into politics, live in the words of liar salesmen and force scholarship. Send me to Hell's Gates, I'm sick of your stalemate. Without a warranty when you try to sell me a failsafe. Making sense of the world without the son of God from Mary, contrary to popular Tom and Jerry Christian commentary. And the chance of me staying silent as likely as finding Cat Williams in a science class. Research banned in every church you ever ran in. Behind closed doors, closed minds, closed cannons. Skeptic with the hand in his pockets, here studying topics that would've made a jealous man of a prophet with the flow as dirty as any industry unregulated. Here they rather celebrate the uneducated.
So I'm privileged, okay, I'll be the black pot. You can be the kettle while you type on your laptop. Talking about privilege, bitch, you hit the jackpot. A first world citizen, king of the have-got. So I offend your silly ass, I'm still writing. Bitch, I took the grass from Neil Tyson. I told you I'm a black pot. You're a crackpot and an ascot, the SJW mascot. Your worldview is a cloud of distortion. Always outraged, blow shit out of proportion. You scream loud enough, and now it's important. There's real problems out there, but now we ignore them. So genocide, step aside for the genocide. Get rendered petrified every time I get in line. Mad that I offend you, great, you can get in line. I shut my fucking mouth, but I might offend a mime.
Hola, my friend.
¿Cómo estamos? Hola, qué bien.
How you doing?
Aquí echándole duro, men. ¿Dónde eres usted?
Me?
Sí.
Well, I'm from the capital of first world problems. Issues, we're convinced the third world caused them. Our bank's too big to fail like it's awesome. The hard crooks walk while we jail all the soft ones. Nerd blasting rap like Saddam's 88 nerve gas attack that we supported. I heard them laugh at that, while our top brass gathers all the data and facts to be distorted. Presented to the citizens in images, position themselves to take advantage of their timidness. Now that you mention it,
It's kinda like how Dwight D. Eisenhower envisioned it. Listen here, I tell you to avoid it, but you might have to deal with them while looking for employment. Pharmaceutical companies cooking up the poisons. Suppress it cause you look like you enjoy it. And we expect privacy from agencies who despise us, who know as long as they keep us comfortable we won't rise up. The right bluff will have them promise changes, making enemies the same ones Obama anchored. It's kinda funny that you say that. It's obvious they've been controlling the money since way back. Kinda like in your country, the money funnels through a couple of monkeys, while the people are up Schitt's Creek wondering how their leaders live with such a disconnect. The poorest are humiliated just to get respect, complete with neglect. Fuck you if you sleep on the steps. Even the best won't trust you until they see the check, which I guess is in the mail as a down payment on bail to get you out of jail for the weed charge, while others file bankruptcy in the ER, in a country full of deep scars. Dream shards, weak stars, and cheap cars that had the nerve to spend over $1 trillion on each war. But we're a threat to them, so much so, you could get detention that never ends. I often ask if we were ever in, or if it was something they just told the gullible as they petted them on the head. Yep, I left up ahead. It's like the more is implied, the less something said. I appreciate the conversation, yeah, but neither of us had an obligation. I know I'm not as famous, but thanks for your time and the ride, and I hope we never bomb your nation.
Yo tampoco, brother. Aquí te dejo y cuídate mucho, que esos son tiempos peligrosos. Gracias.
Yeah. What up? Ha. They be like, kick a flow, why you teasing? Tell us about religion, physics, and why you heathen. Value seeking, waiting to plug the data in, trying to scale it downwards, making sure the equation fits. Toy soldiers in a school taking hostage that boils over into more fools making profit. Snakes in office, I mean in the pejorative sense. We only aim to influence change while you're on the fence. Lines imported by the foreman like it's morning, lying dormant while they got you thinking I'm important. Rhyming Norsons as a Ragnarok astronaut with a massive axis bigger than your past to spy. Call me Astaroth when I grab the mic and crash the block. Free obligatory passive shots, checking inventory after loss. So reimburse me or I'm taxing y'all. Your story doesn't capture all, only a cross section. While you gave up on chess and constantly lost checkers, I was stuck in the barracks learning to chop records, just barely beginning to explore the God specter. I'm often known to start lecture in the Hearth sector, or in my lab charting star vectors, charging ultra combo art specials. Free to exceed the large threshold, inducing a far echo. Norchin bowls with the gang telling stories of the slain. Portal entry closed to the same. Orange tang tastes like court glue on a deadlier ship than the one that war flew on. A poor child from the Orc cloud who spends his time pursuing mastery of sword style. Forget the minutia, we often take for granted that we live in the future, where most of our lives are exquisite. A relic of the 90s, no it isn't Captain Cisco, you can call me Smiley, the rogue edition. Holy wisdom, exposed as a lonely prison. They told me listen, you going on a solo mission, and your whole team is drafted. If your cover is blown, no strings attached, so bear down, or be just another painted face clown running bare ass through the fairgrounds. It's their sound. If this is type 3, then I'm letting my hair down, prepared to drown. If it's cyclical time, let us begin again. The only square globally recognized since Tiananmen. Never mind the repugnance, they hate that we exist and we love dignified. What up? Every mind, heavy substance embedded in the style. We then trust TXI. What up? They won't know how to make us fail. They're simply lower rated on the scale. God is left. What up? The endeavor is where we find who of us will get better as we climb. So authentic. What up? Hip hop for days while it's whip shots for slaves. Sick drops of blaze trying to get out the maze. Y'all can settle, I wanna boggle with this. The only person to come back up from a bottomless pit was me. Tug the trigger, see how hollow it gets. The greatest penalty you pay is when you try to get this for free. It all costs, from soliloquy to small talk, dumb world star to star talk. Guard dog, try to enter, get your arm gnawed. Your mission resolve is yarn soft. Puff inhale, then contemplate on how to deal with beings when you're coming down from an upper scale. Bring the fight, you wanna take his job, but beware his Muay Thai and his feint and dodge. It's all fiction, you just make them gods. If Jesus can't come back to life, then so can Jason Todd. Never mind the repugnance, they hate that we exist and we love dignified. What up? Every mind, heavy substance embedded in the style. We then trust TXI. What up? Yo, you know how they approach this stuff. Educate them before the counterculture does. Intimidate them if they ever try to vulture us. Then we enslave them with useless stuff and mortgage us. The sum of our parts, we are more than us. More than just haircuts, chucks, and gorgeous butts. Still we engage them. Useless dialogue and such. Should we erase them? Maybe they'll engage us first. To be a nation, we must get past our hatred curse. I served in the uniform and tasted dirt. With all different types of races grazing earth. Just looking for a way to get past our ancient hurt. This is type 3, abrasive like Spike Lee. You wanna sit courtside? Better go do the right thing. See, I enlighten, I don't care if they like me. I ask the hard questions, I don't care what it might bring. I'm here to make changes, you here for the sightseeing. And only came to say you and I were light beings. So travel at the speed of it, defy the laws and laugh at all the leadership. But make it so that even Bassini can conceive of it. Inconceivable. Princess Bride. Straight 80s, baby. Ha ha ha. We feel good and want you to feel good too. Get a drink and some weed, eat some good food. We wanna put you in a good mood. This that beach vacation in the room with a good view. Do good for others, see what good do. They don't want us in the game, that's alright, we gon' push through. Pass the kush fool, you tryna look cool. Let's get these people here another lens to look through. Another lens to look through. One more time. The only is to take it all in. From your peers' perspective, you'll seem different when you call them. Another great lead syncopated to break beats. Take heed, watch the info escape thee. Accretion disc of lyrics over the beatsmith's image. Placed in the region nobody reaches. Sure you were dope, but me I was a beat slut. And now you're whack, your studies you didn't keep up. Appease none, beat one and cheat blunt. Each one teach one is something we want. Please taunt, I need an excuse to use excess energy on you that I leave in the booth. You seek for the truth, browsing through the fiction section. Crying wolf, you howling at a living legend. My pen can write an iron book, you're something I'm stepping in. Excrement, if it's you facing me, you'll never win. Gross tactics, Doug just won't have your wagness. You mucking up the whole passion. The clashes are caused by ignorance. So does that mean peace is all up in my sentences? Incident, if you mention kick, I'll spit right on the spot. You'll have to build a temple here. I'm the fifth element of hip-hop personified. The other four comprise of my voice, stay locked inside. Who's kicked more information in the 2000s? To start now, you have to backlisten 2 albums. I rhyme numbers like I rhyme words. 1, 2, 1, 2. This 16 is like 9/3, bringing triple the expected amount. I just wanna rep the West and be out. Bringing triple the expected amount. I just wanna rep the West and see out. Ha ha ha. Yeah. I didn't think it'd feel like this though. Grand Unified. We feel good and want you to feel good too. Get a drink and some weed, eat some good food. We wanna put you in a good mood. This that beach vacation in the room with a good view. Do good for others, see what good do. They don't want us in the game, that's alright, we gon' push through. Pass the kush fool, you try to look cool. Let's get these people here another lens to look through. Yeah. Yo. Another lens to look through. Enjoy the view. We out. We ain't such bad people. We just wanna puff that weed smoke. Jump back. You gave up last sequel. Got plenty more in my vast depot. Trust that. Your flows are less lethal. Metaphors less cheeky. You speak of dead people. We speak of dead species. Revel and bevel and slopes. While your favorite MC's absolute best verses about peddling dope. Heaven is broke as hell when compared to these golden bars. You welcome token gods with open arms. For me it's slopes and arcs. B for war, I play the soldier's part. Poking hearts in the frozen dark. This for the half zones and quarters we bake. As we move from an orderly to disorderly state. Dumb people can only sort of relate. Dismissing the potential enormous change that an orphan can make. Choices and fates, it's hard to interlock them. While first world rappers claim they started from the bottom. I'm sure you did. They looking at me like how dare you have the nerve to live. As I play Copernicus, chilling with the perfect grin. I take the songs that I write and I sing for the record like it's never been sung. You really expect me to run for the hills, hold my tongue when the reverend comes? I'm trying to grow and become the very best Greydon square I could ever become. I wouldn't care if I never blow. I guess a bad plan is better than none. We never had the same goals. I studied more in case we ever had to change roles. Insane flows, we aim at deranged foes. Then bought creation with the change-o. She came close, I told her she was better off without me. On a mission to prove wrong everyone who doubts me. See, I never said this was a good idea. Truth I fear, that I was always ready for it. Should I peer? Crazy, amazingly brazen, maybe. Or maybe I'm an 80s crack baby. Aging, safeties for the salary type. You can battle me on sight with any grapple you like. I'm smashing through mics, I don't care if you can pay me. My creativity's going nowhere near the slavery. People always say to me, you should be more popular. But that's not solvent for the fact that makes me think about the cost and worth more and more. You don't want me on the foreign tours. My music's chloroform, what you wanna pour for? Hip-hop's only isolationist, trying to keep his profile low, all while trying to make a shift. I found my purpose with this raw rhyme, trying to create the best quadrilogy of all time. The fame ticket labels claim they lost mine, all because I chose not to appeal to the small minds. I take the songs that I write and I sing for the record like it's never been sung. You really expect me to run for the hills, hold my tongue when the reverend comes? I'm trying to grow and become the very best Greydon square I could ever become. I wouldn't care if I never blow. I guess a bad plan is better than none. I take the songs that I write and I sing for the record like it's never been sung. You really expect me to run for the hills, hold my tongue when the reverend comes? I'm trying to grow and become the very best Greydon square I could ever become. I wouldn't care if I never blow. I guess a bad plan is better than none.
We have to do work by putting energy into something to create the potential of our own future within that reference frame.
Yeah. I think there's a common misconception that I don't care or something. Nah, that's not it. It's just, I have a different reference point, that's all. Yeah, I wasn't raised, I was watched. My frame of reference is gangs, the pain and the plot. The gamesmanship, the gain and the loss, plus the indoctrination that came with the cost. He wasn't raised, he was watched. Another run wanted pain, a lane didn't want. He was insane from the jump, who questioned all and came from the front. Shot to fame, burdened with a toxic shame. I actually thought my only worth was to cock a name. Old scars, relics of the old guard. And you wonder why this group home kid's heart is so hard? No father or mom, a hostage of song, locked in a bond of conflict and harm. I'm from the home of the where you from culture, where animals run in packs while some come in vulture. You think they're raging hell? I see a bunch of unwanted kids trying to raise themselves, one flight away from bail, trying not to become a statistic, running from love, stuck with people hooked on punishing drugs. Summons, memories you will lock in your moral dungeon. Physically you'll find me where shots of the normal function, risking. I'm trying to cope with the loss of my family history. Yo, fuck my biological parents to shake the misery and paint that vividly. I wasn't raised, I was watched. My frame of reference is gangs, the pain and the plot. The gamesmanship, the gain and the loss, plus the indoctrination that came with the cost. He wasn't raised, he was watched. Another run wanted pain, a lane didn't want. He was insane from the jump, who questioned all and came from the front. I'm known to speak up for the silent few, rising to heights beyond brutal fights and child abuse, dealing with cops at war with the civilians, to sleeping on cots in Iraq, destroying children. I'm trying to address the suffering of the voiceless, the poisons of non-education and poor choices. My crazed past is a basic model of frame dragging, distorting the space and time around when I relay the madness. Insane passion, deranged baggage, the same patterns. Fear of abandonment was the main factor. A throwaway baby apparently. I might have went to Harvard or Yale with the little parent
parenting, it's hard to tell. I might have influenced a larger scale of hardened males, dying slowly, losing their hearts in jail. A favor owed to the shade of nature that brought me up. Now my prime defensive mechanism is to hardly love. It's probably cause I wasn't raised, I was watched. My frame of reference is gains, the pain and the pot. The gains and shit, the gain and the loss, plus the indoctrination that came with the cost. He wasn't raised, he was watched. Another run wanted pain, a lane didn't want. He was insane from the jump, who questioned all and came from the front.
Mind on my path, life's gonna test me. Gotta keep my focus, grind isn't sexy, but I wanna last. Reminds me of a different time, don't it? My whole entire being goes into this. I'm sacrificing all the time, but I wanna last. Reminds me of a different time.
Yeah, I often think about an afterlife, or if the past is right. Am I a slave or the master type? Sometimes the program is strong. You have to catch a glimpse of right just to notice the wrong. Bishops notice the pawns, open for harm. Oblivious, joking the songs, token and calm, roaming the farm. Typical cattle ranch conditions, fed a simple diet of wishes and contradictions of our traditions. You hold on to them like they worth something, showing your faith only because you have to, like a work function. Fear being shunned and ostracized, tossed aside, just because you know all of the prophet ties. Fraud and lies, the makeup of the savior trap. They engraze the facts and you wonder how you prayed to that. They stole your mind, we can help you take it back, leaving the way to on your favorite tracks.
Mind on my path, life's gonna test me. Gotta keep my focus, grind isn't sexy, but I wanna last. Reminds me of a different time, don't it? My whole entire being goes into this. I'm sacrificing all the time, but I wanna last. Reminds me of a different time.
Yeah. Leave the groupthink, their thoughts are just clutter, and watch your complexity shift upwards. Everything we process now has to make us better, while tethered to a set of beliefs that we aim to sever. We just came to measure the deepest pains and pleasures, see a strange reef of strain, rearrange perspective, peep the game. I'm inaccessible to weaker brains, but still got the cheddar and seize the fame. You were betrayed, lied to so you would behave. The rebel in your heart subdued through a page. Spooked and afraid, you grovel like a beaten dog to even weaker gods. Model when you speak of flawed logic and reason, sins they call treason. Recognize your hell and we all even. Godspeed, you can fall in the mass. I'm all in the lab, solving the math, sparking the grass. Pardon.
Mind on my path, life's gonna test me. Gotta keep my focus, grind isn't sexy, but I wanna last. Reminds me of a different time, don't it? My whole entire being goes into this. I'm sacrificing all the time, but I wanna last. Reminds me of a different time. Mind on my path, life's gonna test me. Gotta keep my focus, grind isn't sexy, but I wanna last. Reminds me of a different time, don't it? My whole entire being goes into this. I'm sacrificing all the time, but I wanna last. Reminds me of a different time.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a few observations, just my own.
We're on an island of society, in an ocean of nature, where violence lives with poverty. Hope is their neighbor. See, there's a disconnect. We think this planet owes us something. Actually believing to serve us is its only function. Our attitude towards it is too insane. Fools in pain, residing on a target in a shooting range. What happens when we lose these comfortable conveniences, and fools can no longer live off the substance of the geniuses? Fuck your vaginas and your penises. You both are hairless apes. Your frivolous differences are meaningless. You speak of danger and don't even know how safe you are. Acting like a mass extinction cares about what race you are. Society coddles and lies for what's best. Nature arrives wearing the disguise of your death. We hit the lotto in a universe uniquely hostile, while the attempted separation leaves the species hollow. The subtle conflicts of the ages are problems we inherited from ancients, unforeseen. And when the battle causes anguish, it's all the society versus nature underneath. We love the comforts of community, but still treat the members amongst it brutally. They call for peace. There doesn't have to be this friction. Should we obtain balance, we'll reach the mythic vaunted peak.
Grotesque grotesque areas where rest becomes where enough is perilous. Nature isn't supposed to be fair or just. You got that confused with society, the lies of piety, old sobriety, the notion you're supposed to hire me. A tree of life in a forest of death, upon a leaf that employs the duress. On a planetoid orbiting death, would you expect from the killing game? The lioness showed up at the same time that your feelings came. Simple and plain, survival of the fittest ingrained to be retained in the primitive's brain. Your weakness will get weeded, even if you think it's better off to be conceited. It's undefeated, more confirms than the internet. It'll kill a vet like a sniper hits a simple silhouette. So imagine what it does to the clueless, the unprepared and scared, ones who are truly foolish. The subtle conflicts of the ages are problems we inherited from ancients, unforeseen. And when the battle causes anguish, it's often society versus nature underneath. We love the comforts of community, but still treat the members amongst it brutally, then call for peace. There doesn't have to be this friction. Should we obtain balance, we'll reach the mythic, vaunted peak.
It's like it was. Allows you to sort of be transported back in time. That's the sort of thing I like my grandkids to be able to do. To be able to go to the same place I went. Be able to see virtually what I saw.
Nature in the interim, society in the interval. Maximum escapism, sobriety is the minimal. Intoxicated from the hubris, overcomplicate our simple world as we misuse it. Society's the nuisance, trying to sell a game of rules and pretend, where you can only own what you can defend. Essence is large, the fact is you are small. Nature plays the referee, you argue in the calls. Intelligence lives while ignorance is targeted, in a realm where you only have your will and wits to bargain with. Part of this is the cognitive dissonance we experience knowing we're born with death sentences. We're less interested in reconnecting, disrespected, until it's about to kill us to teach a lesson. So lost in age we dismiss it, and forget that our place within is uniquely intrinsic. The subtle conflicts of the ages are problems we inherited from ancients, unforeseen. And when the battle causes anguish, it's often society versus nature underneath. We love the comforts of community, but still treat the members amongst it brutally, then call for peace. There doesn't have to be this friction. Should we obtain balance, we'll reach the mythic, vaunted peak.
I feel I was denied critical, need to know information.
You misunderstand, we like the stupid. They fight to rule this. Everyone else thinks we're making priceless music. I write what qubits describe. Proof in at times, cruising the music with a humanist vibe. You smell me? I'll snatch the nostrils off your face and stare with crazy flair for not bumping blue Picasso or Greydon Square. Timing's ill, every day running rhyming hills, swiping the bodies on the side when I have time to kill. Sign the bill if you're presidential. If not, your whackness gets multiplied exponential. If y'all play, then it's ball game all day. Parlaying bets, often lost in the stargaze. It's our day in the sun, you throwing shade, cause you hate the way our energy comes from solar rays. So scroll the page, show the stolen pace car racing through motorcades, blowing haze, coasting.
Well, we're sorry. And they just changed all of a sudden. We would have warned you, but they knocked out the radio tower.
What happened?
Well, when the radios went out, I decided to return to the refinery. But en route, I find I'm in an ambush situation.
And there's an artist once the greatest on the planet. To share his view and passion was a gift he never planned it. He's just a stand-in, a place where you could call your home. Landed on your feet, on the street with a microphone. The night was long, but the fight was sure to carry on. Everything he dreamed up, in spite of it, he'd write a song. The light is gone, you'd hear it from a mile away. We're going down, only thing you heard the pilot say. And so you jumped ship and ran into the aisle way. But you slipped and fell on some child out on aisle A. The file date was written on the envelope. You know the wait is over, sitting on the Senate dope. The antidote is coming into focus. My bed along, bending over, flower in the crocus. These
Must have been a couple of dozen of these things. I dropped the first wave with semi-auto fire, but they just kept coming. Sheer luck, most of them were in front, so I just popped it in the sixth wheel and ran them down. The ones that got on board, I handled with a combination of small arms fire and hand-to-hand technique. I am completely out of ammo. That's never happened to me before.
I'm thinking about those constants, knowing that there are these string models which are addressing these problems. These string models are predicting that other universes could exist.
Eternally inflated. I spent most of my early career learning to be hated. Journey into greatness. So it should come as no surprise that I open eyes, revoke disguise, and blow the minds of your chosen side. Frozen inside, exterior star surface. The only man that's unafraid to slay a god's purpose. My genetic code stores my genes sevenfold. Where they compare you and your people to a vegetable. They'll say my later music was exotic, ecpyrotic, one of the best who ever messed with logic. Test your knowledge, it's worthless if you don't. Learning that you were wrong is perfect when you smoke. Blown pot, destination no not. At home in the early universe's cold spot. Checking my mixes and false vacuums for lost baboons. If you miss it, it's all bad news.
An inflationary cosmology, that these universes can just inflate out of vacuum fluctuations. I guess makes us think about other possible values of the fundamental constant. And of course these so-called anthropic principle as well comes in, that why the universe has the constants.
Gawk at what's possible. You have to close your eyelids to process the opticals. Progress is optimal. Premises to suffer. Are deeply held truths invented or discovered? I'm interested in structure. Rich and complex, the very type predictions inspect. Picture the next. Classify existence in sets. Procreating universes, intimate sex. Grab every book of life, skim through the text. Through the walls, swear it's unique cause you involved. Due to gall, remain ignorant and we'll lose it all. Peruse the logs, searching for inconsistencies. Cosmos with similar past and different histories. Something amidst the mystery, unintended. At once vision becomes the symphony. All the realities are connected, and a loose landscape of the omni is what you're left with.
So I suppose the multiverse, I mean there's an interesting controversy. I mean I'd like to think that the multiverse, if it sort of removes God, which I'm quite happy to push him in as much out of the way. I hate the idea of metaphysics coming into physics. So I'm rather attracted to the multiverse scenario because it pushes those two things further apart.
Quilted sets among the inflaton, whisked along, reducing discographies to a simple song. So many different environments hidden inside of it to find the bold mission of scientists. The mind screw is that physics seem to be fine-tuned, something that creationists love to remind you. The nerve to try it without acknowledged observer bias, all because you think some word is righteous. Scaling Raffalo within a self-replicating fractal. The things that are seen are crazy astral. A nerve in deep ends that I learned to think in, subverting non-fixed physical laws in certain regions. Varied minimum values, dimensions to house you, aspects and features to count through. Fantastic arrangements of compactification, trapped in the basement, patterns that predate the last iterations. Nothing really relates, so let's just witness expansion and watch the symmetries break. For entropy's sake, we slumber upon the beds of wonder and ponder on how our native reality's just a set of numbers. This was always inhomogeneous, but still sacred like the spiral nature of the Nautilus. My humble attempt to connect the bases, but they'll degrade it and forget all of this is purely speculation.
The question is, what's the mechanism by which the universe gets populated with lots and lots and lots of different environments? So the mechanism that we're mostly playing around with now is called eternal inflation. And basically I'll tell you what it is in the following simple way. There's a landscape. A landscape means an energy landscape. It means a configuration space of some kind. Many, many different possibilities. That gives you the possibilities. The question is what brought them into reality. The key phrase that cosmologists and physicists like myself are thinking about is called eternal inflation. And it's the idea the entire landscape means all the possibilities, will get populated by this bubbling structure which eventually fills up with essentially every possibility that could be there.
You
music is stirring. You need it. It's soulful. I have weird stories to tell you. This is what my son says to me. He goes, Dad, you write good, you sing good. How come you're not a rock star? I said, son, for every rock star, there's 20 million that aren't. I'm one of the 20 million that aren't.
No rest till I can wake up on the beachfront. We'll dream while we're awake. Peace beside the streaming waves, with lots of green to blaze. No rest till I can wake up on the beachfront. These dreams won't chase themselves. This is more than seizing wealth. It's worth that seed inside. This is more about the long success, securing the financial freedom to never give the songs a rest. Long for stress, everything else amounts to hustle. My motivation stems from the days I recount the struggle. I know rappers half as skilled, making triple, while they expect masters to work for nickels. Past the riddle, I know my flow is great. I done changed lives with it. Now it's time to wake up by the oceanscape. $1 billion for my signature, they have a doubt. It's a fine line between making off and selling out. Whatever route, we always seek to build automated income, also we can chill. We done with all the ripping and the running. Now we're splitting bluntage where the sun is. Numbers that you see in your account, that when you see them have you smile, cause you got it making music that you wanted. Wow. No rest till I can wake up on the beachfront. We'll dream while we're awake. Peace beside the streaming waves, with lots of green to blaze. No rest till I can wake up on the beachfront. These dreams won't chase themselves. This is more than seizing wealth. It's worth that seed inside. With dreams you have to be a little selfish. You can chase your own or help to build somebody else's. I'd rather choose the former and seek to live out my inner peace where it's warmer. Aura a little oranger, with the satisfaction that I did it right. Ensuring nothing but mellow days and lifted nights. With the right decisions, life is different. You can go from the lowest form of blind to a sight exquisite. I want my place by the sea breeze and have the most gorgeous, roll my weed and brew my tea leaves. Who would have thought this could be achieved through sentences carried to the water by all the people interested, that listened in, motivated, wished him wins, that had him shining like the ocean waves glistening. They all visit him and all reminisce. No more envisioning this until I get it. It's no rest till I can wake up on the beachfront. We'll dream while we're awake. Peace beside the streaming waves, with lots of green to blaze. No rest till I can wake up on the beachfront. These dreams won't chase themselves. This is more than seizing wealth. It's worth that seed inside. Nothing but work on schemes and stanzas until I see the sea from the veranda. Soul the only dancer. Luna makes her rounds as we romance her. On ocean sand expounding on the answers. It's more than money. Fortune's funny. I just don't get the joke yet. I'm trying to make it to the tier of success from a broke fed. So I stay lowly on the dough track, if for nothing else than writing songs on my boat deck. I'd still be me if I was just as paid. My library would be bigger than my living space. The very nature's contradicting like a vivid daze. I'd miss the days of wondering if vision pays. And if it doesn't, it was worth the gamble. The driest fire burns within me like the perfect candle. Rejection's something I keep till every morning sand is under my feet. No wonder it seems no rest till I can wake up on the beachfront. We'll dream while we're awake. Peace beside the streaming waves, with lots of green to blaze. No rest till I can wake up on the beachfront. These dreams won't chase themselves. This is more than seizing wealth. It's worth that seed inside. No rest till I can wake up on the beachfront. Yeah. Type 3. Check. Interdimensional Council of Greys. How many versions of us have we found in this maze? Puffin' on haze, we pass to each other. As quantum signature twins, we're past even brothers. Somewhere in between this place and that, there's a bridge that you couldn't find on any map. The space between them no wider than a razor tip, but you know the way by the marijuana from my layers scent. Here, we've got hammers from Asgard, TARDIS boots, Borg, Dale Earnhardt's NASCAR. Blazing rhymes outside of space and time, amazing finds, 118 minds. We boogie board the cosmic shores, looking for Wookiee lords and Girl Scout cookies for Soil grows for the greenhouse. Boil oil and toil on cadence and beat counts. My 616 doppelganger creeps down. He'll send you back to Crenshaw Peak, make a peep now. From your reference, you've been here before, but don't know how you got here. Dimensions galore. What you think all the sick inventions is for? Exploring from the tip of existence down to the floor, of course. I've seen the rise and fall of every king, and found a single omniverse and several everythings. Interdimensional council of grays. How many versions of us have we found in this maze? Puffing on haze, we ponder our existence. No longer as a slave to time, space, and distance. I often forget that time doesn't pass here. You won't know if you came tomorrow or last year. Here, I can exist and not exist as a Greydon Square, Eddie Collins or Apocalypse. Keep your rocket ship, I'll take the Stargate. I was building my third, or you was at the bar late. The infinity sign is my sigil. You rock a tiny stone, I hold the M-Cron crystal. Here, the immortals try to rhyme to death. The only others who have access is the Lioness left. Section 31 is banned. Like my world's NSA, they really wanna ban. This is partly a ship, you're on the skipper's deck. Part supercomputer, due for a systems check. Where's my assistant, needed for every episode? She has my notes on dual error correction codes. Interdimensional council of grays. How many versions of us have we found in this maze? So many ways to research and experiment. Plus DMT and weed, the deeper the experience. Interdimensional council of grays. How many versions of us have we found in this place? This is our base, powered by a quasar, where we control our own fates. Oblivion staved off. Interdimensional council of grays. Interdimensional council of grays. Interdimensional council of grays. Interdimensional council of grays. Interdimensional council of grays.
I like grass on a flight craft, taking shots at your sky dad. You have the world on your iPad, in an age where you can still do time for a dime bag. Why ask? The only thing more dangerous than a question is its answer in my raps. They had these fools conditioned, take it from me, I grew up and went to school in the system. Basically, fake victory and stage defeat, that's how they get you. Hide false wins inside the issues. I could break it down if they cared for naked sound, but they don't. So fuck it, let's just go and take the town. Maybe those who discover truths got sick and tired of being the ones hanging from a noose lit on fire. So they'll just keep it to themselves then. Guardians of knowledge, what we think of them as selfish. We are the keepers of compendium, waking to consume after sleep around millennia. Moving back and forth between the sources like a pendulum. Advanced study, offer open course to anyone, anybody. We are who's guarding the repository. Guardians of knowledge while the rest of y'all are all conforming. The off-protectors of the intellect, expanding projections of the inner trek.
Yeah, a man that always lies told me that he always lies. I stood immobilized with surprised open eyes. The spirit of his words hit me like a poltergeist. A paradox can open up a world you don't realize. Now sit and get your lesson on infinite regression. You know you've won or you've lost if you quit the guessing. And if you say something true, they'll do their best to lessen what you said, cause a lie is supposed to get attention. A lie lends itself nice into its own dissection. The truth requires intellect and a bit of testing. You try to build your castle where the sand is made up of imagine made up facts. You're in for a collapse and aggravation. There's nothing wrong with imagination. It lights the fire of our innovation and creation. But if your foundation's made of that, you're making a mistake. And then he said congratulations on your graduation.
We are the keepers of compendium, waking to consume after sleep around millennia. Moving back and forth between the sources like a pendulum. Advanced study, offer open course to anyone, anybody. We are who's guarding the repository. Guardians of knowledge while the rest of y'all are all conforming. The off-protectors of the intellect, expanding projections of the inner trek.
I binge on information, it's straight from the norm. They'd rather spin cycle pop culture, stay uninformed with eyes stuck to the TV. Sleep deprived species, chemicals in your face. Drink this, eat these, it's troublesome when even the sheep are like not another one, just another someone who won't see where I'm coming from. So I take the time to try to master the kung fu. They're casual, they settle for what passes as functional, not concerned with what's factual, because real knowledge is taboo to those who want to put something past you. I stay under my headphones and study the things less known. They would rather question the methods in which they're best shown. Instrument of change, feel the vibrations. No time wasted when you spend your time chasing inspiration for social issues and innovation. Mars missions in our future generations. Wow.
We are the keepers of compendium, waking to consume after sleep around millennia, moving back and forth between the sources like a pendulum. Advanced study offer open course to anyone, anybody. We are who's guarding the repository, guardians of knowledge, while the rest of y'all are off conforming. The off protectors of the intellect, expanding projections of the inner trek. We are the keepers of compendium, waking to consume after sleep around millennia, moving back and forth between the sources like a pendulum. Advanced study offer open course to anyone, anybody. We are who's guarding the repository, guardians of knowledge, while the rest of y'all are off conforming. The off protectors of the intellect, expanding projections of the inner trek. Off conforming. The off protectors of the intellect, expanding projections of the inner trek.
Yeah. Blue Dream reveals me as a groove fiend, while I progress is tied up like a shoestring. He's too mean when describing the system's flaws. Dismiss it all as the inside of the prison walls. Rip the guards as fat cats and pistol hogs, while we have the strength to lift the star. Vision jarred, similar to battle haze, trying to run either this away or that away. Running rings in my Saturn maze, it's akin to the weather of Seattle on a Saturday. How can I take a stand living in the United States of imagination land? Trying to make the band, making statements that you hate and that you can't defend. An innocent gaze through the mind of an ancient man. So what? They told me I was right the whole time, but then I woke up. Damn. What I see, can I be? It flees sanity. Is it me having the dream or the dream having me? As curious of a being as me, I had to see. Is it me having the dream or the dream having me? Please answer me. MCs fans a beat. Is it me having the dream or the dream having me? The culprit is rogue, ego casualty. But is it me having the dream or the dream having me? Hereditary light child, ever pursued by the sedentary lifestyle. Right now it feels like I've been asleep forever. It even felt like I was sleepwalking through each endeavor. Bite down, this'll only hurt a second. Kinda like the first time that you heard the record. A double-edged sword strike when you least expect it. To protect everything just to be infected. Like how? Asleep late, trying to escape the dreamscape. Appease fate as a pebble in a deep lake. Two skis through a weak wait. Quantum leap great. Ancient steps trying to retrace. A street race at type 3 only halfway. As a rhyme lord that's walking a lonely pathway. Type 4 war portal in the cache. I'd packed to state, but then I woke up. What I see, can I be? It flees sanity. Is it me having the dream or the dream having me? As curious of a being as me, I had to see. Is it me having the dream or the dream having me? Please answer me. MCs fans a beat. Is it me having the dream or the dream having me? The culprit is rogue, ego casualty. But is it me having the dream or the dream having me? A soldier with a rifle cocked, back at home known to soar like a psychonaut. I forgot he's alone in a familiar place. The homegrown battle zone that he will escape. Sniper shot. Wake up late, show up naked to fist fight. It's all fun and games till you wake up in this life. Slack and skate, then a rush to try to graduate. Mad at fate, in a hurry to procrastinate. He's got the courage to elaborate. It's kinda blurry, I almost got to meet him, but I had to wait. Impassioned gray, cast away on the astral plane. Stashed away experience to be ascertained. The past remains as lessons of another. Now peering through the looking glass, we could have been as brothers. A massive chain of 2 lives broken. He asked to trade, then I was woken. What I see, can I be? It flees sanity. Is it me having the dream or the dream having me? As curious of a being as me, I had to see. Is it me having the dream or the dream having me? Please answer me. MCs fans a beat. Is it me having the dream or the dream having me? The culprit is rogue, ego casualty. But is it me having the dream or the dream having me? What I see, can I be? It flees sanity. Is it me having the dream or the dream having me? As curious of a being as me, I had to see. Is it me having the dream or the dream having me? Please answer me. MCs fans a beat. Is it me having the dream or the dream having me? The culprit is rogue, ego casualty. But is it me having the dream or the dream having me?
were surprised to hear a master admit to having emotion?
Yes.
Emotions can be a powerful tool. To deny their existence is illogical, but you must learn to control them.
Why?
You wish to be taught.
I would question everything you say.
You would not be a worthy pupil otherwise. Let us begin.
The first question, is it even logical? The mastery of craft, if the achievement is possible. Logic or not, people chase it. Following thoughts of breaking laws to teach the layman the secret language. Each is taken to the deepest location to observe the leaders speak to a nation. Unified, let me kick to them the curriculum, the source we get the wisdom from, the centering, our system of mentoring choices. Nature is our training space. This is where we go for broke. The dojo is a sacred place. So grab your gi, prepare yourself to battle me. The goal is the sole prevention of becoming the casualty. You suffer less when you have to learn to do it well, but you can learn how not to if you find out what the truth entails. And you will fail many times over, then come to learn from mistakes like any fine soldier, only to emerge alone and superb. What turns most people off is going through the work, rolling through the hurt, digging through the manuscripts and combing through the words, putting older students first. He's to make simple, complex systems, admit faults, scrutinize everything and project wisdom. They visit with him after the class as he ponders if he ever really mastered the craft, passing the grass, hoping he can tackle the task of suddenly teaching his pupils to lasso the vast. The length of the trial is painstakingly lifelong. It might be the ultimate asymptote to set your sights on. The illusion will be it's close enough to seize, and one day you might buy the notion it's something you've achieved, but I would argue you're no closer than ever. The path costs life, total mastery is extra. You understand that there's always someone that can teach you, forever novice, even though they call you Sifu. The truth is, being one and achieving it's not mutually exclusive, just the unity's elusive. There in all his nudeness, careless while he's tearing off the errant floss protruded. Bearing all, let us pause for the perilous cause. A former derelict who would become a master cause he cared to evolve. Beginners look at this as his life, intermediates right, while the experts look to him for advice. Elated for better, he chases forever, patient and clever. With the weaknesses he waited to sever, obsequious without the preachiness. All the skill and wisdom means nothing without the leadership, it's still a struggle. Watch his effortless detailed explanation of information. He'll break it down to its foundations and clear the rubble. Beginning as a fan of it, then he as an artist had a hand in it. As a legend he spread across the planet since. Case of what the standard is, in between the honor and respect is where they sandwich him. I don't know how he manages. He planned to dedicate his life to it. This ain't a fight movement to him, it's an example of life tuning. The only prize he ever ran after, so maybe one day he'll stand amongst the grandmasters. For those who chose to brave the endless journey, the lonely road paved by unsung heroes we've lost, we dedicated to those who should be elevated. You shouldn't follow if you don't plan to give it your all. For those who chose to brave the endless journey, the lonely road paved by unsung heroes we've lost, we dedicated to those who should be elevated. You shouldn't follow if you don't plan to give it your all. Yeah. Yo, for all the stars out there. Ha! Radio flows from the paleo age. I take slaves of the radio and cave in the cranial cage. Bars only spit harmonious. As far as loneliness, rather be that than the phoniness. Dazed and confused, my physics lessons take them to school. You only fail me if you breaking the rules. Rich harmonics, if you hit our chronic, we might actually be able to get somewhere if we just are honest. Divergent rhyme surgeon, who's quite certain that teaching through music was his life's purpose. He's hopeless without, only uses his craft on people who open their mouth. Here's hoping they doubt, anticipation like a chess move. Only with the paper and patience will they respect you. You better not be special or going through your death throes, cause they won't heal anything on you save for a flesh wound, so press through. Starbreaker, trying to craft the features to see where the art takes us. Logically get music infused with the raw flavor. Knowledge from the deviant pupil of Carl Sagan, operating under the title of Starbreaker. Pull the curtains back to reveal that it's all made up. Making shorter work of the zealots and false saviors. Always in the lab and while looking at hard data, I discovered layered textures hidden within rare lectures. Stay a specter, I think think it's a fair gesture. You crater the pressure while the knowledge that I spit is free. The flavor is extra when you mention me. Make sure you bring up I was all in. That through melody and brute lyric I found my calling. There's still Eddie Collins, he's just barely conscious. If he was awake, he'd look at all that he accomplished. A twist of fates, fictionless and in base. The supplies that you brought are not in good issue and taste. I'm just being honest, grieve your wallet, leave your future unmourned. I was producing these kinds of songs before your son formed. None warned, everybody caught off guard. As a world eater, Easter planet a la carte. And you ask me what my problems are. I'm trying to leave into space, and you just happy that you got a job. Starbreaker, trying to craft the features to see where the art takes us. Logically confusing, confused with the raw flavor. Knowledge from the deviant pupil of Carl Sagan. Operating under the title of Starbreaker. Pull the curtains back to reveal that it's all made up. Making shorter work of the zealots and false saviors. Always in the lab and while looking at hard data, I discovered grimy, dirty shtick, but I'll still defeat you in 10 to the minus 36 while the night is earliest. Tie the tourniquet and seal his field wound. Fly the burly ship and drop him off at the nearest moon. Hear the boom from the doors as we seal the tomb. Nothing but hip-hop noise as it fills the room. Vaping ash to the face as we permeate throughout the cosmos like gravitational waves. Heat in store for anyone keeping score. Precisely what you get for thinking it's either or. Beats galore, eating like a feeding frenzy. Pieces within thee, what you looking to the preacher for? Too many infinities to count. I spit every out and watch my enemies recount. Nice board, I think I'll explore it on the Night's tour. With a light sword, on my way to Type 4. Starbreaker, trying to craft the features to see where the art takes us. Logically confusing, confused with the raw flavor. Knowledge from the deviant pupil of Carl Sagan. Operating under the title of Starbreaker. Pull the curtains back to reveal that it's all made up. Making shorter work of the zealots and false saviors. Always in the lab and while looking at hard data, I discovered the form of Starbreaker. Trying to craft the features to see where the art takes us. Logically confusing, confused with the raw flavor. Knowledge from the deviant pupil of Carl Sagan. Operating under the title of Starbreaker. Pull the curtains back to reveal that it's all made up. Making shorter work of the zealots and false saviors. Always in the lab and while looking at hard data, I discovered the form of Starbreaker. Trying to craft the features to see where the art takes us. Logically confusing, confused with the raw flavor. Knowledge from the deviant pupil of Carl Sagan. Operating under the title of Starbreaker. Pull the curtains back to reveal that it's all made up. Making shorter work of the zealots and false saviors. Always in the lab and while looking at hard data, I discovered the form of Starbreaker. Trying to craft the features to see where the art takes us. Logically confusing, confused with the raw flavor. Knowledge from the deviant pupil of Carl Sagan. Operating under the title of Starbreaker. Pull the curtains back to reveal that it's all made up. Making shorter work of the zealots and false saviors. Always in the lab and while looking at hard data, I discovered the form of Starbreaker. Started off as a group home kid. No mom, no dad, too grown is. Do songs with. Step to the grave for a healthy debate. Now you gon' give. Everything that I spit here is practice. Every day a new beat, I attack it. Why do y'all wanna ignore you till you show up with a hatchet? Spit something ratchet. Fuck that, you can have it. I'd rather fade out of hip hop into madness. Go out like a savage. Before I celebrate these cats that are average, I'll take out their cast with mathematically generated data packets in a brazen fashion. I'll haphazardly rage and blaze these bastards. No fear. Four-tier dimensional transcendence, this guy has to have it. It's both wares. Upstairs in the basement, downstairs in the attic. You so scared, unprepared to view structures beyond comprehension. But when it comes to this West Coast lyricism shit, I don't even get a motherfucking mention. Even closer I mention, to make it popular biochemistry and physics. These blows leave indents against the pseudo-scientific superstitiously fortified. Mortified while reality gets reorganized. Poor disguise, sword the ties, the last rhyme lord to be orphanized. On the monochrome battlefield, technical and massive aggro shield, mass appeal, burnt up atmosphere, post-apocalyptic hazard gear. Purpose, rich in its weight, is worth its wealth. That's why I often try to use single words that are small but are bigger than the whole verse itself. curtains lifted and gaze at a multiverse. Then try to imagine your place in it. Your rocket sphere, your patch of dirt. Laugh and hurt, bash to hearse. You either gonna be last or first. I've survived expansion's burst in a micro-sized canister, scaling the cosmic banister. On the other side with no hands like a jerk, with the sword of Jamie Lannister, with no spacesuit on, walking around like it's Earth. Pass me the blunt, I'm about to get lit. Sitting on the edge of the cliff, but a bottomless pit. But I botched and slipped, and found out that Great Square was really Eddie Collis that fell in. Even that I meant the tryptamine that set in. Couldn't specify, define it, or tell him. Oh well, on with the fall. It really feels like he's not moving at all though. Cthulhu's call, bellowing the most hard to find dude since Waldo. Ancient cargo, I got a band plus a state embargo. To a non-linear plane where your yesterday is mine tomorrow. Try and follow, how could your thoughts be full if your mind is hollow? Grind to grovel, all I really got is time to borrow.
Lifespans at times and style rhyme stances that mind bend.
Yeah.
Extra dimensional contraband with geometries you can't comprehend.
Euclidean gnaw, more in the form of a witty idiom bomb. Is this really your song or the infinity within an entity spawn?
Lifespans at times and style rhyme stances that mind bend.
Yeah.
Extra dimensional contraband with geometries you can't comprehend.
Euclidean gnaw, more in the form of a witty idiom bomb.
Yeah.
Is this really your song or the infinity within an entity spawn?
I'm Alan Guth when I smash your crew with a rap or two, while I'm still the vast astral that'll hurl your craft into the fractal stew. Who you dash into, stunned at the sun like it's magical, fanatical, trying to convince me belief in your God isn't madness. No, you can keep it. Me, I'd rather get lost in a room full of secrets. Who the deepest in rap? I bet they feel off in the pools that I creep in. A movement of seeking, a view of the future. We've all had a peek underneath the guise. Some believe the lies of the reach for highs far out of reach. You just see the mad scientist back on his Omega minus kick. You fail to recognize their inner pupil, practicing a rebellion fist. Beat breaks reshaped by the seascape, while all they see is just a convoluted think tank. Behold the primitivity of free space. You follow trend while we cheat fate.
Lifespans at times and style rhyme stances that mind bend. Extra dimensional contraband with geometries you can't comprehend.
Euclidean gnaw, more in the form of a witty idiom bomb. Is this really your song or the infinity within an entity spawn?
Lifespans at times and style rhyme stances that mind bend.
Yeah.
Extra dimensional contraband with geometries you can't comprehend.
Euclidean gnaw, more in the form of a witty idiom bomb. Is this really your song or the infinity within an entity spawn?
Lifespans at times and style rhyme stances that mind bend. Extra dimensional contraband with geometries you can't comprehend.
Euclidean gnaw, more in the form of a witty idiom bomb. Is this really your song or the infinity within an entity spawn?
Lifespans at times and style rhyme stances that mind bend. Extra dimensional contraband with geometries you can't comprehend.
Euclidean gnaw, more in the form of a witty idiom bomb. Is this really your song or the infinity within an entity spawn?
Infinities that make minds spin, you cannot comprehend. Destroys your postulate. Infinities.
Locked in the sync with the sirens dance. The fine line being subtle joy that she gives to the eyes and the pride but denies the hands. I find her glance, it screams for me. She knows I don't care. Tension so thick it divides all air. Space in between, soul night shared. Intimate energies, no type spare. She leads me back like a deep book. In my mind has her meat hooks. Last minute second thoughts of the bush breach. Now I want it all like a street crook. Who needs protection? I want to get her pregnant. Start a family with this limitless exception. Zero in the transfinite or next kin. She's timeless, I couldn't tell you where her head's been. Truly uncomfortable numbers appear. I'm near in 1, you figure 8. You put that universe down and come here. It's long in the bathe in our fevered embrace. Secrets of space, deep ends of time. Flows through your body and reaches the mind. The piece is sublime, you pull away. Both of us know that this teases a crime. Speak of divine and she will remind you that you barely exist by showing you countless deities already dead or dying in every abyss. Bevy of risk, medley of bliss. When she undulates it's heavy intense. Sexy and fit, test me again. You'll leave me satisfied, very content. Get dug drug in this Mobius strip club. Both know it isn't love, it's just lust. More exploratory action, kid stuff. Ravage you like a savage, unjust. Feel the wrath of the passions, pent up. Come to terms with our status, thin fuss. Obtaining this kind of passage, fringe luck. Climaxes, madness, influx.
Tensions break, senses rage. On here she slays in a way that would offend the greats. Literal take of the thinly draped. Men to skate, bend or break her favorite twist. Challenge her place, she'll savor it. Crave intense, shame it is. See what you want to embrace again.
I look at you and find solace inside. Logic aside, bottomless all of the time. Lauded, calmly benign. Harmony hard to describe. Qualities, iterations to make Ptolemy cry. Launching me high, constantly calling the mind. One with the omni and I, all in a raunchy disguise. Honestly, multiply by you when problems arise. Us moving closer is always a lie. Often a flaw in design. You shouldn't even be talking to eyes. I know infinity's greater than you. You throw back at me your neighboring truth. Painfully rude, they end up thanking me nude. What have you taken me to? I love every letter of every love letter. The respect that I get from my people, there's none better. This goes far beyond the bars. This is my thank you message, weighing heavy on my heart. Beginning with Tragnew Park, ending out in the stars. Never did I imagine I'd ever make it this far. What an amazing distance. Orphan to artist rapping. Started off and enlisted, now I'm a starship captain. Overloaded with passion, devoted to making work of it. For all of my supporters that often gave me encouragement, I learned from it. From every email read to every compliment, I'm honored to say that I've achieved fans on every continent. It's crazy actually, fans tattoo my name on them and name their babies after me, and I haven't even reached my apogee. This for the grand unified that flock to shows, spreading trans intellectualism across the globe. I'm often told my content direction offers hope. That's why I so appreciate the support as I walk this road. For every instance you let your sons and daughters listen, I wanted to write something most proficient. It's been described as medicine, a tool used best to extract a lie from a reverend, a vibe for the intelligent. Humbling interviews for every time you reached out just to tell me what it meant to you. I feel like I'm representing you. You were so patient with where I chose to take it. And I really wasn't sure what to wear to this, so I showed up naked, faceless, only peddling information. The sole thing to me that's sacred, but it was you that helped me show the nations, Greydon. So I'm forever thankful I have the freedom of never needing a label say so. I'm just another number on my social worker's caseload, a living Final Fantasy whose eyes glowed with Mako, but grateful. So I return your love and energy. If you're listening to this, then you've become a friend to me, instantly. I wish that I could hang out with every one of you, laugh and cry, then kick the science over a blunt or two. This one is nothing new, actually it's a disguise. The truth is that I'm stuck with you, I don't even know what to do. We're family now, with me handing out lyrics like hand-me-downs. It's like you finally understand me now. And it goes both ways. Just know my dedication and devotion won't wane. The soldiering won't change. The vessel is Carl Sagan. I dare them to find its equal. This is a flagship command commissioning by my people. We'll explore it together. We can create potentially a true unified federation of astral entities. The way it was meant to be. We're simply seeds, expressions of extropy and entropy that intercede. And it will be our fingertips imprinted on history, physically getting lost in the mystery, envisioning the future, looking at what you all have meant to me, thanking you for all the borrowed energy.